Oh, that's true. But it's a wonderful morning. It's a wonderful, wonderful morning. And I am enjoying this talk about John Lennon and the lyrics because he was a big hero of mine. And you know his favorite tune for me, Give Me Some Truth, among any of his ones where there's a harsh indictment. And I love the one of the little kids in Christmas. And so this is, I mean, that just knocks me down. So my dream was to get down there and have a visit with him in New York and share a little baggie, you know, roll up a few. And because I'm October 1st, which the kids in that band I managed years ago told me was a lot like On His Vibe and all like that. And I did think of a lot of the stuff he did, and I feel horribly sick when you told me that they changed a lyric because they were told to, or whatever, however that worked. And to come up with a bogus things. I wrote down here, super bogus, all religion true. Give me a break, Jack. You know what I'm saying? That's not where John was at. I don't care what you think about religion. I mean, I know there's some bishops and archbishops probably tuned in right now.
Oh, and, yeah, it's a big part of our demographic.
Kids I grew up with who made good in the hierarchy, man.
We have an archduke.
But yeah, what the hell?
Listening right now.
They got a school I read about yesterday, the Dalton School or something. I think it's the right one. And you have a place where you can check off if the kid coming in is a count or a prince or a countess, and there's a whole thing you can go through of this. It's beautiful, man. If you don't enjoy the human species, you're a sick dude. Because it's a big free show. Now they got Jesus having a wife. You know, I put together I goof around at home a lot with iTunes, and you play that tune by the Who right after the Jesus news, you know, that he may have had an old lady. My wife. It's beautiful. She probably caught him turning the water into wine and didn't approve of that. You know, you're doing the alcohol thing with these rowdy buddies of yours again. And I just enjoy the whole show. Who did you have on here that was great today? You started right on the top, man. Smart guy saying things. 5th grade. Oh, you, Doug. I'm surprised you're such a slow learner, man. 5th grade, and the guy finally wakes up and sees that school is bogus. I went in there the first day. You figured it out in kindergarten. We didn't have it. Catholic school, you went right to 1st grade and started sitting still and paying attention. None of that finger painting crapperino. We got stuff to tell you about Jesus, man.
How'd you do in 1st grade?
Rotten. Lousy. They did a thing with sheep. They come Advent, and they put all these little sheep down at the bottom of this green thing, and they all go up to get and breathe on Jesus in the little stable. And after the 30 days or whatever Advent is, building up to Christmas, it's like a junior Lent, you know. And you can't, you know, the statues are covered and all. My sheep hadn't moved. He had not moved, man. He was a gray sheep. And I dusted him off, took him home, gave him to George. He called him Fuzzy. But by 2nd grade, I was kicked out. You mentioned therapy. I got kicked out of 2nd grade, you know, for being... the one thing I excelled at in school, and this is no BS, man, I excelled at being me. And if I didn't like something, I would tell you right away. Yeah. I didn't care you were a nun. That was meaningless.
I'm sure the teachers appreciated that.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah, they sent me to a shrink or a child psychologist. And he had a nice meeting with him. I had called the nun a bad name, an SOB, without the initials. I just laid it out there. And I was getting kicked out of 2nd grade. And the shrink wound up telling my mom, he's just a bad boy, Mrs. Carlin. He needs male discipline. And the dude had never met my dad, or he would understand I did not need male discipline. And it didn't work good for me because I was a defiant little dude. I was a rotten... If you had a class of all me, you'd have been out of teaching, you know, within weeks. You'd have just tore up your degree. But I went to boarding school, and 5th grade was a cool grade, Joe. 5th grade was cool. We were learning about, it was bogus history. You know, the Indians were welcoming Columbus. He wasn't feeding them like dog meat to the people and tearing them up the way it was. We were the most evil thing that happened to this hemisphere. Evil, man, you know. The Indians were living tribal. They would use up a little place. They would take the wigwams and roll them up and move off to somewhere else and give nature a chance to fight back for a while after they had been doing their mild thing. And then we come and cut down whole states worth of trees. We went through Minnesota like locusts, you know. Hey, Paul Bunyan, I'm big and bad. And no more trees. And it's just sickening what real history is. But we got our dose of the other. We saw the boat come over, and we knew it was 14. But school was I was just waiting to be 16 and get out. Yeah, I graduated at 16.
Well, the reason we have you in here is because you're such an inspiration to the kids out there. And you kids out there,
you can learn,
you can learn a lot from Uncle Patrick.